We've heard about this shit about the hip hop industry for years. That is filled with homosexual activity, bro. We've heard about this for years.
He blew up Kid Cudi's car. Like, this is crazy.
Allegedly. The Fed's whole strategy from day one was to make him look like an evil which he is. The human mind is not what you think it is. It's not good people and bad people. There's good people that do horrible shit. And there's bad people that do good things sometimes. That's what I need people to understand. That this could have happened to you. It's not a matter of that you're better than other people. No. This can happen to you. I need people to understand the process of greed and how it takes you over your mind.
Sliding in the studio, my album coming soon. Until we get this rap money, trap gon' have to boom. These bricks and these keys and these zips is what we'll do. If you need some fire, I can see you off the June.
I was just telling your dad that because some of these fucking ex-cons think all of it. I mean, I get props to them. No, props to them if you're making a living doing that shit. But I when they call me to be on my show or I call them, I'm like, listen, bro, vamos a hablar de delincuencia and fucking drug dealing and federal prison. We're gonna talk about the shit that that my audience likes. At the end, we'll spend 20 minutes talking about what you do now. But that's at the end. Don't whip out no. Oh, yeah, doing burpees at 4 in the morning. Vete pa la pinga por ahí pa allá, West Watson, tú, sapingo. Don't get me started. Oh, my God.
Have you got West Watson?
Bro, you charging me like,
bro, whoever pays $10,000 to have that guy on the podcast is the buy it.
April.
Uma pinga, sere.
More than a year ago.
Uma pinga. April. No, more.
April.
Yeah, so 1 year is good.
Over a year.
We didn't even take behind the scenes.
It's a good time to do another one for sure. 1 year. I'd invite you back on mine, bro, but you don't fit the mold anymore. You haven't done time.
I'm a criminal. I got locked up as a kid.
Oh my God, yeah, as a kid. Don't even talk about that.
I'm gangster, nigga. From the murder.
This guy.
Murder Lakes. We're locked in or what?
No pun intended. All right.
We've been locked in, man.
Yeah, bro. That's like.
So it's been recording. That's cool. We can keep the backstory stuff. That's
yeah.
Nice.
All right. What's up?
Welcome back, folks. I don't know about the Patreon.
Diddy is gonna beat his trial. Diddy's gonna beat
a lot of things. I don't know if he's gonna beat his trial.
Diddy is going to beat his trial.
All right, we're gonna start with the important questions because everybody, the fans, the Air Force, the people want to know. Welcome back to Montana.
Thank you.
Is this a domestic violence case?
100,000%. It's domestic violence. There's proof of 1,000 crimes. The problem is, Cassie signed an agreement and settled it out of court and took $10 or $20 million, so she can't come after Diddy for any action. So you feel me?
But hold on. But is Cassie coming on, or are the feds coming after? That's what I'm saying. Those are two different things.
No. Espérate. Cassie is testifying on a federal case.
Same way Kid Cudi and all the prostitutes are.
Right. The feds are coming after Diddy, not them.
Right. That's okay. Because when you say Cassie coming out, to me, I think sue.
Look,
I think lawsuit and come.
I know
like that.
I know no one remembers anymore because if you. Yeah, I know no one remembers anymore, but back a couple years ago when this whole Diddy thing started, Cassie was gonna come out and talk.
When did it start exactly? Because I just learned that this has been going on for
a decade. I feel like this has been going on for a decade, but honestly,
I just learned in 06-07, Cassie's mom had to take out a loan for like 20 bands because supposedly Diddy was threatening to
blackmailing
expose her.
I
was playing with that idea in my mind.
Just testified that in court.
I was playing with that idea in my mind, and I was like, coño, but nowadays, who cares, right? It's porn, but the truth is, looking back on it, like when I was in middle school, this is before Kim Kardashian and Paris Hilton blew up. Yeah. And even still, thinking back on Kim Kardashian and Paris Hilton, they were vilified for it. Like, Kris Jenner's a monster.
When did Cassie come out with Me and You and all that? Bro, long time. That might have been like 07, 08.
That time, you're right. That's 06. Me and You was 06. Me and You was 06, 07. It has to be. But my whole thing is like, this is more than a year. This is ongoing.
Bro, you feel me? All right. Let's take it a step further. Why is anybody acting surprised about the freak-offs? We've heard about this shit about the hip-hop industry for years. That is filled with homosexual activity, bro. We've heard about this for years. For years.
But here's the thing. Listen, people think Will Smith is a freak. People think Will Smith and Jada Pinkett
probably is. They probably are.
But the difference is
that's
that
not
they're
a federal
not
crime.
And this is the clear difference between Diddy and what Will Smith is doing. Will Smith isn't pimping Jada Pinkett. Everything Jada Pinkett is pimping Will Smith. Diddy is pimping her. So when I looked into this a little bit further, because I knew we were gonna have this conversation and go back and forth. So I was trying to think in my head,
I get,
what is the difference?
There's to an extent.
Pimping
yes,
is different.
She was getting pimped,
and that's illegal.
To an extent, but it was more coercion than pimping. What he was look, let's start with this because I've been getting bombarded with the bullshit. I'm not defending Diddy. Fuck Diddy. Throw Diddy in the deepest, darkest hole that we have.
We're talking about the justice system right now. And
I know, but let's just get this out the way. I want Diddy to go to prison because he's done a million things that you and I would be rotting in prison for right now. So fuck him, and he needs to go to jail. Aside from that, let's talk about the facts. The facts is that the feds are coming after him for human trafficking and racketeering. There has been no human trafficking and no racketeering in this whole case. The whole case.
Prostitution is human trafficking.
Pablo,
across state lines is human trafficking. Flying people out, buying prostitutes, and being a prostitute is both illegal both ways.
All right. So why is it that their star witness has, like, this is what they blew their whole case up?
Cassie?
Cassie, because she testified for like a week, right? Their star witness was the one bringing in the fucking people to have sex with Diddy, bro. So what all they really did there was like blow the case apart. One, it showed that she had a lot of fault.
But did that blow a case apart? Did that just open up another can of worms for Cassie? And that's for her to be tried in a different sense. But the whole point is this is how a RICO charge works for my brother. There's a head of the enterprise, which we're all in agreement, is Diddy. This is what the feds are trying to. I'm not saying that this is what the feds. This is what
that's what they're trying to prove. That's what they're trying to prove.
It's a head of an enterprise. The enterprise we know is all the freaky guys in this freaky fucking network of freaks. And Diddy's at the top. He's the head of enterprise. So he's the boss. He's the Pablo Escobar. Naturally, you have people under you that are doing the work. Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell.
Do you understand that you haven't had? You know what conspiracy is? I've been booked by the feds. Okay. Hold on. Time out.
Yeah.
I've been booked by the feds.
Expert.
I have done time in the feds. You know what conspiracy is? Two people who corroborate a story against you. That's it.
But there's been more than two. Hold on, time out, Montana. We got more. We got Cassie and the prostitutes off rip. We got Cassie, the prostitutes, the other people that were part of.
How come the prostitutes aren't taking the stand?
They have Montana. There's literally been one prostitute that already said that I read. He said he couldn't get hard because Diddy was beating Cassie up so much, and he was like, "Oh no, I can't get hard. This is crazy." And Diddy was blaming it on Cassie. Right. I read that, homie. Like that's a prostitute that testified that.
Right.
So that's my point. It's not just Cassie saying, it's the prostitute corroborating the information. So that's 1 and 2. Bam. That's what I'm saying. It's they're matching the stories together. You feel me? And it's not just one prostitute. There's multiple.
Okay.
The one that was traumatizing to me was the dude saying he couldn't get hard because Cassie's sexy as fuck.
Don't even get me, bro. Again, there's all kinds of sick shit going on here.
Was sexy as fuck. This whole thing ruined my whole image of Cassie for me. It's like, fuck, man. It's crazy.
Look, bro. He's done nothing.
You're right, Cassie. You're beautiful. I'm sorry if you're listening. You know you are. It's not your fault.
You need help. Look, Cassie. I'm sorry for what you went through, but you have a lot of fault and you did a lot of shit wrong. Yes, he coerced you and all that shit, but you need Jesus and you need a lot of things in your life, bro. I'm not even gonna get into that. I got attacked by a friend of mine that's an influencer in New York the other day, and she was like, "This is unbecoming." I was like, "Look, lady, I don't have time for this. She needs Jesus in her life." Anyway. So, let's get this straight. You're going to tell me that Diddy paid a bunch of prostitutes to party with him and have freak-offs?
Yeah.
Hold on. Right?
Facts.
Right? That sounds a lot like Hugh Hefner. That sounds a lot like every rapper that's ever existed. So, what
crazy.
Allegedly. So, let's be real here. When you're talking about human trafficking is that he had this network of people that he kidnapped and coerced.
No. Human trafficking doesn't have to do with kidnapping. Human trafficking is pimping. I got this girl from fucking Main Street. I put her in Tootsies, and guess what? The feds say, "Hey, you convinced her to be in Tootsies and sell her pussy, not just strip." Human trafficking, my brother.
But if they had that, brother, you don't understand how the feds operate. If they had that, they would have brought it out already.
My brother, but what I'm trying to tell you is this guy's going to jail.
Bro.
But no. What I'm trying to tell you guys is that. Well, Cassie is the star witness. What do you mean? Who would have been the star witness?
Which is pathetic because the text messages show her saying, I'm sorry for saying it like this, but it's what the text message says. "Oh, Papi, I can't wait for you to stick your cock in me raw." Like, bro, that's not a star witness. She has as much fun as the other guy, bro.
Willing participant.
Fuck willing participant. Partner. She was there. helping him get the fucking people to fucking have freak offs with.
So my question, Montana,
what proof of what?
My question, and what the prosecution is going to argue, and me as a logical human being with a baby sister and a mom, and this is what I think of in these crazy situations. At what point does the line cross between yes, she's a willing participant, and coño, she's being threatened, and the guy's saying, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna expose you. I'm gonna put out your porn. I'm gonna fucking blow up your boyfriend's car if you snitch, if you testify." At what point does that line cross, and we realize that this is maybe not just simply, a guy and a girl being freaky as fuck and intimate and paying other people to be a part of it? Because there's couples fight all the time, but that's not a pimp. That's not a pimp in his hole. There's a very huge difference in that dynamic and that conversation between a violent man and a violent woman.
First off, let's start with this. First off, I don't put myself in positions for you to have proof of anything to blackmail on me. The fact that he has...
we crossed that bridge. These guys have fucking all kinds of evidence.
So let's start with that. Yeah. You're already morally corrupt, and we're way past that conversation. So you telling me you're scared of blackmail is already like, bro, I don't want to hear any of that shit.
No, but it's not... But when you say... If I felt right now, you saying blackmail felt more like oh, here's your porn. Homie, he blew up Kid Cudi's car. Like, this is crazy.
Allegedly.
No.
Allegedly.
Kid Cudi testified it. This has been folklore.
Allegedly.
Listen.
Allegedly.
Welcome back to the Heir Cast. This is going to be part of the fucking cold open because this has been part of folklore, hip-hop folklore for 10 years, homie. We've been fantasizing it and thinking, there's no way Diddy's crazy ass did that. This guy came out and said it, bro. Smoking squares the whole way. And guess what? He even said him and Diddy made up after it. He said that Diddy apologized, but in between that, he also said that he pulled up to some store, to some hotel, and he seen Diddy outside at the window, and Diddy had his hands behind his back like a Marvel supervillain. So listen, Cudi's also crazy. He's been known for doing coke. No, God knows. But homie,
and Kid Cudi's right. Like, he did do it.
And listen,
but
and
one
the line
thing
got
is to
crossed.
Say that he did it, and another thing is to prove that he did it, Papi. Yeah. Oh yeah, he did it. Okay.
Cudi's testimony doesn't prove that he did it.
Like,
no, but here's the thing. I understand.
And that's arson. That's a whole nother federal crime.
But that's part of racketeering. Of the RICO. I'm sorry. That's part of the RICO where you need. I wrote them down here. There's seven.
Yes.
Homie, there's 7 predicates for RICO. All you need is 2. One is murder. God forbid, not God forbid, but God knows if the jury gets involved, all the fucking hip hop people.
Who knows? They're gonna throw his baby mama's murder on.
Maybe.
That would be crazy if they throw the baby mama.
Can you imagine if Biggie's murder comes out in this trial? Oh my God.
I don't even think that's necessary. I don't even think Cassie, brother. I don't even think Cassie's domestic violence is gonna come out with this RICO.
Because she took the money, Papi. That's what I'm trying to tell you. She took money from Diddy. She cannot come after him for that.
What I'm trying to tell you is that
she
they don't need it.
She settled out of court. She took money.
But Montana, they don't need it because listen to everything that comes after murder. Kidnapping, which is 100% proven by the prostitute authority, and Cassie, who said it. Yes, and even not a prostitute, that a homegirl that was part, I guess a mutual freak that was part of the shit that corroborated and testified that they didn't let Cassie leave because she was beat up. You feel me? So Diddy's whole thing was you got to stay at the crib or the hotel because he didn't want her out in public fucking all bruised up. Kidnapping, that counts as kidnapping. It's not movie kidnapping where I'm fucking putting you in a trunk, but that's kidnapping. You're holding somebody against their will at a place. That's 2. Kidnapping's the second one. 3. Gambling offenses. Have no idea what the fuck that means.
That's racketeering. That was part of
mafia
shit back in the day. But yeah, go ahead.
So if that's the case, then because bribery, that would be 6. I was gonna say where he paid the hotel guy to not fucking put out the video.
But to convict him of arson, so here's
arson. I don't think he's getting caught on arson.
Of course not.
But still,
Kid Cudi's the only witness.
The Kid Cudi shit.
And he's assuming it was Diddy. Again, he has no proof.
100%.
Next, no proof.
Robbery. Number 5. Robbery. Who knows all the artists? Fucking 112. Not 112. Yeah, 112. Shout out 112. My dogs.
That's fucking people.
That is contractual.
Yeah, that's fucking people.
So that's legal robbery.
That's legal. He learned that from. Let me not. Anyway.
Did he rob any of the prostitutes? I'm not sure. No, none of that shit. So he might not get robbery. Bribery though. He has bribery. Bribery. He has bribery for sure with the hotel. What do you mean? The hotel
is not included, Bobby. That's past the statute.
That's not happening. Anything.
What do you mean that's not included?
Anything that has to do with Cassie getting beat up is not gonna be evidence.
Hold on. Okay, but here's what you guys got to understand. You guys are making this a Diddy and Cassie trial. This is not a Diddy and Cassie trial.
Cassie's a star witness.
But this is
Cassie's a star witness.
But That's fine. You could
She testified for a week. Everybody else has only testified for a day.
My G, this is a Society versus Diddy trial. This is not Cassie.
Let's get, Bubble. Let's talk about exactly what this is.
But listen, him paying the hotel to hide the video. That's bribery. Has nothing to do with Cassie.
All right.
That's him in the hotel. That's him bribing.
Hold on. Let's talk about the video. Let's talk about the video though. Let's talk about the video. Why was it released at the time it was released? If they had the video that whole time, why was it released like? Right.
No. That's already been clear now, and everybody. This is the narrative the prosecution is going to paint, because this guy will blow up your car and lock your dog in the bathroom, because this guy is powerful. This guy will do all this, and he's in fucking Turks and Caicos.
But that's what I'm trying to. Hold on.
This is the facts, because he blew up Kid Cudi's car.
There's no facts, Papi.
Okay, time out.
There's no facts. It's all people saying things.
Okay, but
and again, conspiracy.
But the point is, listen, bro. Time out, because he did all this Cassie shit 5, 6, 7 years ago. That hotel shit was years ago. The Kid Cudi shit was 10 years ago. And Kid Cudi said it. Hey, I was going to go fight him in person. I decided not to do that and filed police reports 5, 6, 7 years ago. You opened up this pod saying, if me or you did half of the crimes, we would have been locked up already. Homie, if me and you got accused for blowing up any of our girls' ex-boyfriends' cars, homie, we're in jail right now. We're in TGK right now facing these trials. This guy did this shit from the comfort of a freak off in Turks and Caicos.
You're in the feds.
Homie, but this guy got away with this shit. Like, my whole point is, this is a disgusting example of people with money getting away with fuck shit.
But I opened the fucking podcast saying I want Diddy to go to prison.
No, I understand, but I'm just saying, like, this is clear evil shit.
No, yes, but that's the court of public opinion, Papi. That's what I'm trying to make you understand. The Fed's whole strategy from day one was to make him look like an evil fucking asshole, which he is. Of course,
but you have to.
Because they have, bro, I'm telling you, if the Feds had proof, they would have brought it out. There's no reason to hold on to it.
What do you mean? What proof haven't they brought out? They brought out a lot of proof. What are you saying?
All they're doing is talking about freak-offs.
No, they're not. That's not true.
And his dick looking like a Tootsie Roll.
No, brother, they found the gun.
And their star witness liking getting pissed on. Like, bro,
first off, that's all maybe what's on the algorithm, but that's not true. They have him on drugs. They have him on a gun. They have him on paying prostitution, which is way more illegal than any of the gay shit you just said. Like, the freak offs is crazy. That's what gets the numbers.
Who talked about the gun in court? Who talked about their drugs in court?
Homie, they're holding off to this because it's an ironclad case. You don't bring out all your cards at the beginning. You don't show your girl your best sex move on the first date.
The Feds have the biggest dick in the room, bro. They don't hold on to evidence. I've been indicted by these people. Cuando te detienen, te dicen, papi, vas ahí por 20 años y vete pa' la pinga por ir pa' allá. He would have pled out if they had that shit. Do you not understand that?
Why would they give him a plea? Why would they give him a plea? It's a celebrity that's going to jail for life.
There's something called discovery. When you get indicted,
right now?
Stop. Hold on. Listen. When you get indicted by the feds, when you get indicted by the feds, there's something called discovery. And your lawyer goes to the feds and gets a discovery. The discovery is everything they have on you. If they had shit where he felt he was going to get indicted, he wouldn't be in trial right now.
You're saying because you think it would have been out already. The trial's still going on.
The
There's multiple
feds
weeks.
would have whipped it out first day. Oh, hey, go ahead.
But why do you think that? You're assuming that because you've been in the system.
Brother, I'm not assuming anything. The feds do this.
But we don't know what's in the discovery. We don't know what's in the discovery.
That's the point. But
no, you were assuming it would have been out. No,
listen to me. The feds would have came out with it
Nobody
day
knew
one.
Kid Cudi was going to testify. None of you guys were talking about Kid Cudi a week or two ago.
That's not the point. The feds would have whipped it out day one. Why attack his character?
Why didn't they whip out Kid Cudi the day one?
Brother. Because they need hearsay and they need to destroy his character because they have no proof, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They want to make him look like an asshole. They want to infect the jury with, oh, yeah, un cingao. Hey, he's a bad person, which he is. I'm not defending him. If they convict him, it's going to be based off hating him. It's not going to be based off proof. Because they haven't presented any proof of what they're talking about.
But that's the game. That's what this fucking legal system in the U.S. plays. It's popular. It's like a fucking prom queen and prom king scenario. Like, it's not about who's the best person. No, it's about who wins over the public opinion. That's what prom king and prom queen is. That's how fucking law. That's how
I can tell you.
It's not about right or wrong.
I can tell you.
OJ got away with it because he convinced that the feds were fucking like, hey, this is fucking racism. The glove doesn't fit. Look at this. Like, that doesn't mean it's right.
But again, that's a whole other thing. The feds need to present proof. They haven't presented proof. So
what do you mean? Hold on, Montana.
Brother,
the prostitution
is.
What do you mean? Paying prostitutes is proof.
Bro, that's what every rapper has done since the beginning of time, bro.
But listen, okay, but they didn't get snitched on by the prosecution.
You would have to indict every rapper that's ever lived,
and
bro.
maybe they will, but that's a different conversation.
They won't.
But that's a different conversation for another episode. We're talking about Diddy.
No. Let's talk about Diddy. You know what's happening with Diddy? Diddy fucked up, and the feds are coming after him for something he fucked up with them with.
So
this is a personal vendetta. This is personal. This is fucking personal.
How?
What do you mean how, bro? Because he's the partying and the freak-offs and all that shit. That happens every day in America with every single politician. They'd have to indict the entire country. Do you not understand this?
Listen, it happens every day with politicians, but what politician? Listen, Trump is on record saying, I'll grab her by the pussy lips. He's not on record fucking throwing a vase at a woman. He's not on record grabbing a woman by the hair and dropping her to the floor.
I get it, brother, but everything there...
On video, not on record, on video. On clear video.
Yes.
Clear 4K video, damn near.
And this indictment is happening.
It's not the same as the politicians. It's not.
The politicians do worse, probably.
And I agree, but it's not on video, so the public opinion, the retards that watch fucking CNN and Fox and fucking all of our algorithms that think, oh, my algorithm is law, this is everything that's reality, that's what they believe because it's the public opinion. So what does the law have to do? Hey, let's put out these videos. Hey, let's put out the shit. Bro, the defense didn't even let, with the Kid Cudi situation, this blew my mind. They didn't even let Kid Cudi testify about the long-term damage of the dog because he said that the dog was like traumatized after. I thought they hit the dog. Supposedly they just locked the dog in the bathroom, which still is fuck shit, homie. Like, I don't care. Blow up my car. You fuck with my dog is war. Hey, war, my G. Pets are innocent, so to affect animals is fucked up. But
for the federal judge, listen, for the federal judge to step in and say,
you can't talk about the dogs?
No. For the federal judge to step in and say, where's the evidence?
What do you mean? When have they said where's the evidence?
Listen to me, bro. The feds convicted a 98% conviction.
But they have he walked back to a room full of drugs in a hotel. Like, what do you mean, where's the evidence? That's a room full of evidence. That's drugs. Buying drugs is illegal.
Okay.
You're saying okay like it's not. It's legal? Buying drugs is not legal.
Brother, for the judge to step in and tell you, you need to come up with the evidence, and we're tired of talking about the freak-offs. For the judge to... By the way, the judge is on the prosecution side. Like, the judge is the reason that there's a 98% conviction rate in the federal court. For the judge to step in and be like, hey, guys, you gotta really come up with some serious shit here and stop talking about, like, how much sex he had. Because...
So, there's videos we've literally seen... It's on the internet. It's on all of our timeline. I don't know if it's on your timeline, but it's on all of our timelines. There's videos of the room full of drugs they found. Why are you shaking your head? No, like that's evidence. That's
circumstantial, Bobby. That doesn't mean those drugs were Diddy's drugs.
No, but they were in his hotel room, and a prosecution's going to argue that, oh, some random person came into Diddy's room and left all these drugs. Great. So they also have the crazy amounts of all the fucking oil and all the fucking shit, and the crazy amounts of prostitutes, like over 10 different male prostitutes. Like, yo, I've gotten this bread. And listen, buying prostitutes in the state is one thing. When you make them cross
straight lines is human trafficking.
It's federal. So that's already we've just talked about 3 different charges before even talking about the domestic violence or the kidnapping, holding somebody you domestically committed violence on in the crib to hide them from the fucking general public's eye. Those are 4 or 5 different charges off the ripper. Like, this is it adds up, homie. Like, I'm trying to say, like,
I get it.
How the fuck is there anywhere where he doesn't do time? I think he's doing time. The question is, how much time? That's the real question. But I'm trying to hear the argument for how much time.
I'm completely, listen, brother.
No time at all.
He's winning this trial. As of right now, right this second, he's winning this trial.
As the one who beat the feds.
Unless there's some super crazy last minute smoking gun shit that comes out, I don't see this trial changing at any point. Oh yeah, he burned my car. So what? Oh yeah, he coerced me. He coerced me. He coerced me into hiring prostitutes. Oh, so you hired the prostitutes, not him. Ah, okay. Oh, so we have you on text messages saying that you want to fuck all these people and you want to get pissed on by 20 guys. Oh, okay. Wait.
But you're focusing like on Cassie, but this isn't a Cassie trial. This is a Diddy trial.
Okay, then don't put Cassie on the stand for 7 days, brother.
But that's a different conversation, my brother.
In a 6-week trial, you're gonna put Cassie on the stand for 7 days in a 6-week or 8-week trial? 7 days.
It's done tremendo damage.
No, what trial are you watching, bro? That was the reason for off rip. I was like, bro, this trial is going nowhere. Because the second they showed all the shit that she was texting back and forth and all that shit, she has no credibility.
But
if
you're just talking about text messages.
She's implicating herself.
But Montana,
in hiring,
text messages, you're just talking about text. I'm talking about real life things that they have pictures and videos of, and real life humans talking. The only thing on your side you're saying is, bro, they got a text message, a screenshot of a text message that Diddy could have had somebody, his assistant, get Cassie's phone and send back. Like, how old are you? Like, hold on, it's a text message. It's a text message.
And they can't get a picture of drugs in another room and say it's Diddy's room?
No,
let's flip that. No. Let's flip that.
No.
Because you want to tell me.
No, the hotel room is it's rented under Diddy's fucking information. It's under his credit cards.
All right.
And even still, the text message came from Cassie's phone. Anybody could send the message and send it. What are we saying right now?
Bro, how many people are gonna get my code, not be able to get past my fingerprint? Let's start with that.
Are you serious?
Get
right
my
now?
code to get
Are
into
you
my phone.
serious?
Yeah, let's talk. You wanna
A multimillionaire doesn't have assistants that could could get it to the phones?
Nah, Bobby. Seriously?
Are you
gonna
serious?
With the amount of shit that guy has on his phone, he's gonna try.
Right, but hold on. Okay, I think I see the difference here. Do you think Diddy was part of some fucking Epstein operation where he's fucking getting information up here, or do you think he was just a freaky ass guy? Hold on, this is the clear difference in me and you's fucking view on this, because I think he's a freaky ass retard with a lot of money. Do you think this guy was like some ninja Pepsi shit?
No, what I'm
So
saying
he's a
is,
retard. He gave his assistant information to do anything. He let Cassie do anything.
Brother, if you're up to no good, and first off, I don't give my phone to anybody. Let's start with that. Me.
Bro, we're not talking about you. We're talking about Diddy, a fucking multimillionaire who blew up a guy's car and then
you
did
have
this.
5 phones. You're not gonna give your personal phone to just anybody, dude. What are you arguing about? What are you arguing about?
What?
That doesn't exist. It has a fingerprint reader. It has a code. It has like 5 different things you need to do to get on this phone, bro.
That's crazy.
What are you talking about?
You've never heard of a trap phone? You've never heard of a freak phone, maybe?
Okay, bro.
Junk phone?
Because that's not saved as Cassie on his phone, and they don't have specific phone numbers.
We're still talking about the screenshots?
You flipped the whole thing about the text messages.
No. I flipped the fucking. I'm telling you all the real life evidence of like the hotel fucking rented under his name. The prostitute saying, yeah, no, I was literally there. I was fucking there. We were part of it. We fucked Diddy. We fucked Cassie. Whatever the fuck they're saying. Like there's real life people saying this. The only thing on the other side is a text message. There's not real life people saying. Even Cuddy defended Diddy. Even one of his assistants.
All of that is what I'm trying to make you understand is that all of it was orchestrated through other people.
But that's because everybody's coming down now because they've been in fear for years because this guy is gonna fucking kill you, rape you, fucking ruin your career, blow up your car. So they're like, coño, Diddy's doing it. Kid Cudi's doing it. Cassie's doing it. Coño, let me fucking. It's my time to speak. That's how the fucking Me Too environment works and the psychology.
And until it's not hearsay, and until it's not somebody who hired the fucking prostitutes themselves for Diddy. And it's not somebody who was caught
somebody
on the
that
phone
hired them for
saying that one. Yes, I
so
want to get.
Hold on. Jeffrey Epstein had Ghislaine Maxwell hire the prostitutes for him. So Jeffrey Epstein didn't hire prostitutes. What the fuck are we saying right now? That's what you just said.
Of course, she hired prostitutes.
No. Did Epstein hire him, or did Epstein get Ghislaine Maxwell to hire him for her? Like, what are we saying, Montana? You can't poke a hole in that. Like, this is the court of law. This is reality. Like, people are gonna understand like the word games and the wordplay and the wordsmithism going on, but they're like, wait a second, hold on. It's the same shit. The guy got a second person to go make the transaction for them. If I pay you, yo, go find me cocaine, go find me prostitutes, go find me whatever the fuck it is, it's me paying you. If the feds fucking lock you up and you snitch on me, I'm gonna go down with you. Like that's how it is, brother. You wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for me putting you on this mission. That's what you're gonna say, and that's what the feds are gonna say.
I get it. We have Kid Cudi, you got Cassie's mom, and you got Cassie.
And mad prostitutes. And his assistant. And like there's real people talking, Montana. I just listened to a bunch of shit. There's real people corroborating evidence. Like there's real people corroborating stories. Whatever. You could say it's not evidence because it's hearsay, because it's stories, but hearsay evolves. Hearsay is when one person says, yo, I saw a big bad wolf. But when 2-3 people in the fucking court of law say, yo, the big bad wolf raped me, that it changes. It changes. And you could, like, Michael Jackson had 30 kids say he got raped.
Let's start with this. All those guys were paid to do whatever the fuck they did. So they did it. They did it completely. They were. That's what. Let's not even.
No, but they're not snitching on. Yo, I'm a prostitute. The prosecution is just asking them what they saw, and that's let's be clear.
What they saw was a bunch of freaky shit. That's disgusting, and I get it. But the freak offs are not illegal, bro. They're not.
No, but
the prostitution is illegal. The prostitution
is
illegal. I get it. But that's a state thing. And yeah, prostitution across state lines, okay, I get it. That's where you get it into federal stuff. But, I mean, bro, again, prostitution is something that's done every day by every famous person and every. It is, bro.
That doesn't make it legal. That doesn't make it legal.
But you have to indict the entire country.
Of course it does. If you do it across state
You
lines,
have
it's a
to
federal law. It's a federal crime. No, but your reaction right now is that's immediately thrown out the window, buddy. This is real law. This is real life.
It's not big enough to warrant the feds coming after you for.
According to my dad, who isn't a lawyer, but that's not true.
Bro.
Like, according to real life, if you do a federal crime, the feds come after you. That's the difference between state and feds.
No,
like, it's
the
not
feds
what my
come
dad
after
says.
you when they want to come after you, bro.
That's fine, but the whole point is they say,
can
yo,
pick
you've
up-
committed a federal crime. It's my turn.
In front of me, I've seen people who commit a fucking state crime and they didn't get acquitted in a state court, and the feds pick it up because they were like, you know what? This guy needs to get indicted.
Isn't that why they're not doing domestic violence? I just realized they're not.
No.
I don't think they're even going to mention domestic violence because they don't need it.
No,
because
that's hold on. That's been their whole case. Let's start there.
It's not.
They've
They
been
haven't even mentioned it. They haven't even mentioned it. They're doing that to depict a picture and an image of
They're
the
doing that to
perception. Yo, this
destroy
is a
his character.
violent person.
They're doing that to
not,
destroy
but
his
that's not
character.
a charge. Two different conversations.
But that's their whole strategy, is to destroy his character.
To make him look like a violent piece of shit because they tried this 20 years ago
But
with
that's
OJ
not-
and he was
again,
a superstar athlete.
Again, that's not breaking the law. That's what I'm trying to make you understand. That's how the feds play.
Wait, what's not breaking the law? Violence is breaking the law. You can't hit people.
I know you can't hit people, but that's not admissible. What he did with one specific person hitting them and all that shit, it's not admissible.
It is admissible. What do you mean?
No, it's not because.
Well, they're not using it, and they're not you're proving what I said. They're not charging him for domestic violence because they don't need
can't.
it.
No, it's not because they don't need it. It's because they can't.
Okay,
they cannot.
that's fine. We're moving past that. But they could charge him for prostitution, confirmed. They could pass him for soliciting prostitution for other people, confirmed. They could charge him for transporting prostitutes across state lines, confirmed. They could. That's 3 right there, all just on prostitution. Let's move on to the drugs. They could get him with buying drugs, confirmed. They could get him with giving drugs to his dogs, confirmed. They could give him with giving drugs to his bitches and his hoes, confirmed. Like, homie, it adds up, Montana. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, how the fuck do you get out of this? I heard one thing. Trump gives him a pardon or mistrial. But if you mistrial, you just get trialed again. Look at YMW Melly. Are you familiar with that rapper? He killed his boy and rode around with his boy's dead body in his car. Tremendo ironclad case. They had one girl on the jury that said, no, I think the feds are conspiring to frame him. It's bullshit. Crazy, bro. The guy literally did a song called Murder on My Mind. Bro, crazy. Bro.
No, but that's a whole nother. Don't even get me started on.
All it takes is one.
On all the. Okay, but don't get me started on all the rappers that admit to crimes on their songs. And then, like, the feds come after them and they sing like canaries.
Technically, Diddy's been fucking admitting it. Take that. If we're being real.
So that's why I think it has been ordained. I didn't want to go, like, I didn't even want to become a part of this whole thing. But I think that's why this whole thing happened organically, where someone came to me and they were like, yo, I got press passes, you want to go? And I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll go. Because I'm tired of, like, I'm going to go there and I'm going to record what I see with my own 2 eyes. And I'm going to prove, like, I want people to see that I'm not saying this because I want Diddy to get freed. That's not the case.
No, you're exposing. I know. Tell me if I'm wrong. You're about the justice system and the fuck shit that's going on with this system. No, is that more your angle? Which I agree.
I know how the feds play. They did this to me. They've done this to hundreds of people that I know personally.
Right.
But again, I've been through this process. When they have something like an iron, like a fucking smoking gun, they shoot it at you, bro. You know what the first thing they showed in that discovery I saw? More than 20 people who wanted to. Yeah, this guy. So it's like, yes, prostitutes and drugs. And everybody in America does that, bro. Like, you got to come at me with like, coño, a video of him shooting somebody in the head, a video of him, like you got to come at me with something a little stronger.
They hung somebody off a building, too. This
bro,
is wild.
Whatever. Let's see, bro. Again, up until now, for a federal judge to step in and tell you, start talking about the proof and stop talking about the freak offs, because like this.
I didn't hear that. I don't know where we gotta put that. That's crazy.
If you guys want to see what that is, go on my page. I did a reaction video to it.
We'll drop it right here for him.
So I think it was ordained for me to, like, yo, you need to go, you need to record what's happening, and you need to say this, and this. Up until now, the only thing I've seen is they want to destroy Diddy's character, rightfully so, but that tells me that you're doing that because you don't have anything else, bro. That's what that tells me. That's the most powerful government in the world that takes over countries whenever the fuck they feel like it. Is coming after my character.
You know what I think it is? I think we live in a world of fucking bullshit, and everybody just believes what the fuck is on their timeline and face value shit. And I think that's how I think the prosecution and the justice system is forced to play the game, because it has to be attack your character.
Let's take it a step further. Before Diddy ever went into prison, he had already lost in the court of public opinion, brother. They're beating a dead horse. Like, all this shit, yeah, okay, it's coming out in court and on the record. But all this shit was like, bro, we know Diddy's a scumbag. We know he does these things. So you're just kind of regurgitating what we already know. So bring out some real shit, not a freak off, not him having sex with prostitutes, not him doing drugs. Bring me some real shit, and then we'll talk. You know, because again, up until now, if all you're telling me is that he's a degenerate and he's fucking 20 guys and Cassie enjoyed getting urinated on by 40 people, like, it is what it is, bro. You know what I mean? I've seen nothing compelling in this case besides assassination of character, and if maybe there was a second witness in that Kid Cudi arson thing, like if there was an actual witness, because there's no witness.
No, he wasn't there though. He was in a
he's
different
just
country.
just accusing Diddy of doing it, and no one saw him do it. That's all you have. Well, yeah, no, but this happened. Was it him or no? I think it was him. So
it's all circumstantial, bro.
You know what I mean? No, I got an envelope in the mail and I had a USB. Okay. Did it have an address? Did it have this? Did it have that? No, it didn't. That's all I'm saying, bro. You gotta think about that from this. Yes, it was him. We know it was him. But you gotta prove it was him, bro.
Right.
And I'm not gonna sit here and say that the jury already doesn't like him. Let's get that out of the way. Might they convict him because they hate him? It's possible. But this has been so much of a circus that it's very possible that the jury must be like, bro, we just sat there and they talked about insanity for fucking 6 weeks, and I don't really remember them saying like, where was the proof? Like, I don't know. So let's see what happens, bro. I'm actually kind of looking forward to going.
This is your first experience at a live trial like this?
At a live federal trial besides mine?
You're going to be in the courtroom, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be inside the courtroom.
Why do you think they're not televising it? Because they did the fucking bullshit with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but that wasn't a federal case.
Oh, what was the civil case?
Inside the federal court, there's no cameras or recording.
OJ wasn't federal?
No, he was state.
Oh, shit.
Anytime you see those drawings of the court, that's was a federal case.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
You remember, if anybody saw Cocaine Cowboys, you saw all the drawings of Willie and Salma glued in the court, is because it was a federal case. So that's
Thugs was a state case, and
correct.
OJ's was a state case.
Correct.
Right,
correct.
We got to see it.
Anything where you saw a camera in a fucking courtroom, it was a state case. So
okay, and then this goes hand in hand with the rebrand. Do you want to talk a little bit to the audience about the rebrand?
Of course, yeah. So, for the content creators out there, I was podcasting for a while, and I didn't have much results, didn't have much to show for it. And I said, man, what am I doing? Like, what can I do better? Like, what's going to get me results? I kind of let go of my ego. And I was like, all right, fuck what I want to do. What works? And I went back to my channel. And I noticed that every time I mentioned prison, and every time I mentioned breaking the law and being a criminal and all that shit, the video did pretty well. And I was like, several of my friends have told me I should go that way. Maybe I should. All right, fuck it, I am. So I was blessed enough to become friends with a top podcaster in the true crime niche, Ian Bick. Shout out to Ian Bick out in Connecticut. And I just I went out to record in his studio a few episodes of my own, and I just asked as many questions as I could, and I devoured the information, and I started implementing it. And 6 months later, I got George Valdez, fucking Cocaine Cowboys.
Legendary Cocaine Cowboy.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it looks like the channels are about to monetize any second now, and I'm really excited. Yeah, I mean, and let's be real here. Like, it's fun. Like, what I do is fun. Like, I sit there and I talk about a guy smuggling fucking 600 kilos of cocaine in 1979 when no one was doing it, making $24 million a month. Holy shit. I sit there and I talk to fucking a guy who used to make $100,000 a week selling crack in the projects. Like, I'm not glorifying them, but it's like, fuck, like, this guy actually did that shit? That's crazy. You know what I love about what I do? Let's kind of mesh the niches here. In music, modern day rap is like, oh yeah, I do this and I shoot people and I sell drugs. It's like, no, Pablo. I'm around the people who did that shit. I on my phone number, I have 50 people who did what you're claiming you did, and they went to prison for it on its own record. You're not gonna sit here and tell me no that you ain't shit. You're nobody. You're a fucking retard for admitting that you shot somebody in a fucking song and going.
Most rappers don't do it though. Most rappers are around people that do it.
I get it.
You know?
I get it. But
like Kendrick.
And I'll argue even harder. Most rappers get caught up because they want to act that and they're not that.
Of course.
But anyway, that's what I love about what I do, bro. I'm around the stories that people are like only hear about. You get what I'm saying? Like I met and had on my podcast the guy who brought in Willie Falcone and Samagluda to the cocaine game. Cocaine billionaires, by the way. Guys who sold more coke than anybody ever in history.
Coca-Cola.
So, oh yeah, Coca-Cola. You know what I mean? And that's just one guest.
Yeah.
I have bro, what's in the works is so exciting.
You have any dream guests? Any dream criminal? Like Diddy? Would you do a pod with Diddy? What would you ask Diddy?
I would never do a pod.
You wouldn't do a pod with Diddy?
I have standards. Look.
I'll do a pod with him, but he'll just be trying to touch my thigh the whole time. I'll just be like, yo, stop, Diddy.
I have standards. I have standards. Look, obviously, nothing to do with harming kids. If you harmed a kid, you should burn in hell. Fuck you. You have no right to be within my vicinity. Anything to do with harming women, I'm not with that. Don't come around me. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And if you're like a cold-blooded killer, like if you're a murderer, it's one thing to kill somebody in the game. Like you gotta think of it this way: somebody in the mafia, if they kill somebody that was in the mafia, you're in that world. That's it's pretty much open season. If I was a drug lord, cocaine, if I was a cocaine cowboy, if I was in the marimba, and we got in it and I killed you, bro, you're in the game. You're open
you're
season.
saying the difference between a civilian and a player.
But if you in cold blood murdered a father of a family of 4, or cold-blooded like murdered a woman or a kid, like you're different. You're different, and that's not what I like to get down on. Like that's just not my thing. It's not. That's not what I like to. There's a lot of true crime documentaries out there where they're like they get into the mind of the psycho. I hate the Ted Bundy shit.
I can't even get into it.
The Menendez brothers. I refuse to watch any of that shit. That's not.
It's bad for your health.
What I like is the big time, like any big time cases, like Made Man, fraud, cocaine, heroin. Like I like guys who did these crazy things, and then today they're like a different person.
Yeah, no, those are the crazy stories because they made it out. The percentage of people that make it out of this lifestyle is insane.
I'm in the works right now of getting a former Yakuza member on my podcast. Yes,
that's insane.
That's what I'm saying. Like you get these people who live these lives that
cut off their hands, right?
Bro,
homie, that's crazy.
Crazy shit. Chop off their pinky if they fucking.
Yeah.
No. I'm telling you, yeah. So that's why, like, yeah, bro. Yeah, for real. The shocker.
Yo. Oh, shit, the shocker.
Anyway, so not only is it a lane that I think I can, and then I have so many ideas, bro. Once it's monetizing and it's moving, I'm going to start doing it in Spanish. And what I have ready for that is oh my God, cool. Bro. Colombia, Mexico, Spain, like Cuba. How many people do we know that have been locked up in Cuba have never been able to tell their story? You know what I mean? Like, I personally was locked up with a good friend of mine named Red, who was locked up in Cuba, and he told me the story of being locked up in Cuba, and I couldn't believe it, bro. Like and when I started doing it in Spanish, I'm excited to bring stories like his. You know what I mean? Sex work is a big thing that I get into.
That's in the episode you had.
I had it. Shout out to Grecia, bendiciones, madrina. She told her story about being a sex worker in Cuba, and that's one of my top performing episodes.
Yeah, crazy episode.
Like, and that's still a gray area, like topic where it's legal, but it's not legal, and it's just a taboo thing that I like to dive in. So those are the things that really get me like, damn, these are really cool. I have a counterfeiter coming on soon, big time counterfeiter. I have, bro, you name it. Like I have the craziest stories. Fraud, I've done, bro. How many? I've done a guy who had a $9 million fraud case. My fraud case was $7 million. I had a guy who had another fucking $20 million fraud on another level. I've had quite a few, and what's in the pipe, like the people I have, DEA agents. Like this guy took down all the whole opioid epidemic in Florida, almost single-handedly.
That's cool too. You gotta do the other side of it. The other side of it's cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. As long as it's not the feds that caught me.
That'd be crazy though. Tremendo fucking headline. I interviewed the feds that arrested me.
I'm not that thirsty for clicks. Again, that's certain things. You know, go live your life. We don't ever need to talk ever again.
They're watching this like, all right. I want to be on the bomb time.
Pablo, so let me tell you something. The day I got arrested by the feds, I got a call at 5 in the morning. 5 in the fucking morning. To this day, when I get a call when I'm asleep, to this day, my reaction is...
No.
To this day, bro. I have serious PTSD. You have no fucking idea. Trust me. It's like on another level. And that's bro. 5 in the fucking morning because my gate was locked.
Your mom, no?
My aunt.
Your aunt.
My gate was locked, so they couldn't come in. So they had to call me. So they called me from a phone number I didn't recognize. It was crazy. Crazy ass story. It's out there.
Episode 8 right now. You said it on the
episode. Yeah. Did I?
Yeah.
On yours?
Yeah, we got into it.
Okay, all right. Yeah, just make sure put the. Yeah. But yeah, bro, like and then people are like, oh, but aren't you scared it's saturated? I'm like, it's saturated with what, bro? People come out of prison every day.
Facts.
Every day.
Wow,
every day.
You never run out of people dying and people coming out of jail.
And you know what I really love about my niche?
Prison.
You know, all right, so what's an issue in podcasting? Everybody's competing over the same fucking 20 guests. Jordan Peterson, fucking Joe Rogan, Joey Diaz. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's competing over that upper echelon of people. Patrick Bet David. Brother, I could interview a crackhead tomorrow that has the craziest story you've ever heard, and I'll go viral.
Yeah.
And I'll make his career. How about that? I'll tell him, start an Instagram. I tell everybody who doesn't have social media before, and they go, start an Instagram, start a YouTube, start a TikTok. You're going to blow the fuck up.
So frustrating when you do a podcast episodes with people, and then their social media is down.
Yeah. I know. Tell me about it. So bro, you know how many people like George Valdez, he's a great example. He has a clip on Instagram, get over 500,000 views right now. It has like 10,000 likes. And bro, his Instagram is, oh shit, look, he just texted me. That's cool. George, I'll text you back.
Shout out, Dr.
What's
George.
up, dog? And he's gained like, I don't know how many thousand followers from that one clip. That's what I love about what I do, bro. I have the possibility of elevating. And I'm not looking to get elevated. Fuck all that. Yeah, with George, it was a great collab, and obviously his story was powerful, but like, because of my skills that I bring to the marketplace, it benefited him too. Now I can bring on stories that no one, and that's what, Pablo.
Opens doors. It opens
Pablo,
audiences' ears.
what I'm really excited about is getting the original Miami stories out there that no one's ever heard of. The 90 Latin Kings.
That's what we gotta do. We gotta put that out there.
Bro. And Cocaine Cowboys is just one. You know how many fucking cocaine smuggling stories we've never heard of are out there? Original Miami stories that no one's... Bro, did you guys know this? I'm looking into this now to see if I can get them on my podcast. Did you know that Miami Subs was actually tied to, like, John Gotti?
No, that's crazy.
You guys didn't know that? It was tied to John Gotti, and there was, like, a hit, and it was crazy.
Shout out Pitbull.
Shout out to Pitbull, yeah.
He owns the one in Spring.
He's a business partner with that fucking picture with the white suit. Bro, that's what I'm really excited about. There's so many original Miami stories that aren't out there that... Bro, it really, like, I see it in a year when I have another 100 episodes out on top of whatever I did, like.
Hey, go crazy now because May GTA 6 comes out. Everybody's gonna be super invested in Miami. I'm telling you.
GTA 6.
Bro, that's gonna be good. They're gonna. Bro, I think they're gonna change the fucking online hustle. I think they might implement ways to make bread off.
And Miami, no, but the thing with Miami is there's always been like an illegal like hustle.
But I'm saying I think there's gonna be a huge Russian surge in Miami lore and like throwback lore because of that bullshit. Because everybody's gonna be like, oh, this is, and I'm sure they're gonna lean on that in the game, bro. I'm sure they leaned on it in the Vice City. They came out almost 30 years ago.
Vice City is a classic, bro. Classic.
You couldn't even swim in that game. Imagine now, homie.
Vice City,
they're gonna go crazy. I can't wait to be in Hialeah rapping too. And two quick questions.
Yeah.
Is Kid Cudi considered a snitch?
Took the stand.
Well, the thing is, Morgan Freeman made a good point in 21 Savage's album. He said there's a difference between snitches and rats. And, like, he made a point that, one's a civilian that isn't part of the game. The other one's part of the game. Kind of like what you were saying earlier.
It's going to take people to come forward for Diddy to go to prison. Do I call those people snitches? It's tough, bro. It's tough. Yes, you're testifying on the stand.
Yes.
Well,
but I'm trying to say, like, I guess there's levels to it. Because if you're a rat, you're.
But where does morality come into this? Like, unless people.
Rat is if you're part of the.
If you're in the game.
If you're part of the.
If you're in the game.
No, but
even if you're an op.
No.
Even if you're an op. Even if you're an op.
then you're a rat.
Even if you're an op,
These
though.
people are just snitches.
So hold on. Whitey Bulger snitched on his opponents.
No, Whitey.
Well, ratted on his opponents. Ratted on his opponents.
Whitey Bulger's a rat.
Rat. That's what I'm
Rat.
saying. He's in the game.
He's the worst.
Because he's in the game.
No,
and he's actively
he
doing
ratted- yes,
dirty shit. And
yes.
he's ratting on other guys doing dirty shit.
Yeah. But let's take
Cuddy
it.
wasn't doing dirty shit. He was just a cokehead.
Right, but I consider it. No, but
No,
it's different,
but
bro.
no, he's not
Look,
beating prostitutes
when-
and paying prostitutes. It's different.
Sammy the
He was
Bull-
just fucking gassing.
Sammy
and
the
Diddy got
Bull
mad about that.
Gravano is a rat.
So something.
Sammy the Bull Gravano
Because
is
he
a
killed
rat.
people and ratted on everybody else.
Because he ratted on people he did business with his entire life. He ratted on people he considered friends. That's a rat.
Low down dirty rat.
But I don't put what Kid Cudi's doing in the same
Because he's a
category.
civilian. You feel me? He was just piping.
Yes, I agree. Like when you're a civilian, it's
He's
different.
still a snitch. Not a rat, but he's a snitch.
Yeah, right.
No.
But that's what I
Yeah,
want to
but
point
I
out. There's a
don't
difference.
hold it against him. I hold it against you when you sold dope for 20 years and you get indicted by the feds and you rat on all your friends. Then you're a rat piece of shit. You're a fucking rat piece of shit and you should get stabbed in jail.
I don't like this piece of shit.
But yeah, like on
I
that.
liked him.
But what Kid Cudi's doing,
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it, bro. It is what it is.
And one pet peeve for future podcast guests on the pod.
I don't want to hear about your motivational fucking story, bro. We want to talk. Let's talk about your being a fucking criminal. How you became a criminal. Let's talk about. I get into like how you grew up and shit because that influenced basically your decisions in life.
Part of your testimony.
Let's talk about how you sold drugs, how you committed fraud, how you pimped, like whatever your hustle was.
Delinquency.
Yes. Let's talk about crime. And then we're going to talk about prison, whether it's state prison, federal prison, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And at the end, we're going to talk about who you are today for 20, 30 minutes, So, which is also a very cool part. Like, the transformation of the person is super important. That's part of what makes George's story powerful, right? Like, it's the fact that he was able to exit that game in one piece. Obviously, he did a shitload of prison time and lost everything. But he started over, and now he's a new man. You know what I love about him? Bro, you want to talk about redemption? His grandkids love him. All his children love him. He has an amazing relationship with his wife. He's retired.
It's a rich grandpa, I'm sure.
He's fucking traveling all of the United States in a Sprinter van. He's driving all the way to Alaska.
No, driving to Alaska?
45-day vacation with his wife. Like,
no way.
Like, he lives a great life. And for a guy to do what he did on the level that he did it when no one was doing it, and he's just an example. Like, there's a lot of people I'm going to be bringing out that have managed to do that, come out the other side and be a good person.
That's cool.
And realize the error of their ways. Like, what most people don't realize is that that's my hook. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my hook. My hook is the selling $100,000 worth of dope and fucking stabbing a motherfucker in prison. Like, that's on my hook. But really, the overall theme of my show is redemption, bro. You can come back from anything.
That's fire.
You can come back from anything.
Great message.
I want people to understand that you can fuck up on royally in the worst way possible. But you can come back from it. There's nothing you can't come back from. Again, I've been to prison, and even criminals have standards. Like, the only line that there's no crossing is like murdering women and children or sexually abusing women and children. That's like all right. And again, we'll go back to it. I don't interview certain types of people. There's a certain demographic I like to go after. Redemption. And I started with episode 0. Episode 1 was my story. Like, I showed you I had no morals at one point, bro. The shit I was doing was wrong. Like, and it got to the point where I was considering doing things I would have never considered doing. Because let me show you how this works. You cross the line once. That wasn't that bad. Then you cross a farther line. That's not that bad.
Slippery slope.
And then before you know it, you're fucking defrauding an insurance company out of $7 million. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I need people to understand, that this could have happened to you. It's not a matter of that you're better than other people. No. This can happen to you. I need people to understand the process of greed and how it takes you over your mind. You know what I mean? Greed isn't in certain people and not in other people. Greed is in everybody. And greed starts off like this, a little mustard seed. And then it gets a little bigger. And before you know it, you're fucking selling 10 keys of coke. And you're fucking counterfeiting $10 million. And you're, like, before you know it, you're running a pill mill. And it starts off small, but it grows into this thing. And some people take longer than others to, and have to spend more time in prison. Like, some people, moral of the story, some people take longer than others to come back to reality and be like, fuck, I fucked up. It happened, the way that happened to me was when I laid down in prison the first night and I looked at the room, and I was looking at the roof and I was like, fuck, I'm in prison, bro. I fucked up.
Damn.
That's some real shit.
Damn.
The first night, I was like, damn, how the fuck? Life is crazy, bro.
What a mission.
I ended up in federal prison, dog.
That would have been my
Like,
mindset. What a
no,
mission.
but you don't understand. You don't understand. I was the one person in my family that everybody was like, no, he's a good kid. He's going to make it out. He works hard. And that's who I was in my mind. But then I got this little opportunity to make some money, and then it turned into a big opportunity to make some big money, and then...
In my mind, I was good. Shout out Nori.
Bro. And that's what I need people to understand, that like the human mind is not what you think it is. It's not good people and bad people. There's good people that do horrible shit. And there's bad people that do good things sometimes. I.e., in prison, listen, bro. Prison changed my whole view on the world. You know what on the world is? I had real, look.
The world.
The world, chico. And everything in. Look. In there, it's very racially divided. Blacks are with blacks. Hispanics are with Hispanics. Whites are with whites. Others, and then there's like a small others, like Asians and that kind of shit, that kind of can choose who to ride with, right? So in my case, I was one of 14 Cubans in a 500-person prison. We were heavily outnumbered. Let's start with there. So we kind of were okay because of the Puerto Ricans, because there was 350 fucking Puerto Ricans out of the 500 people there. So they ran the prison.
Shit.
So we were kind of okay.
Florida?
Yeah.
Not
so,
a lot of Cubans? That's crazy.
Yeah, I know you would assume
Cubans be
that.
on
Right?
point, bro. Yo, hustling and hard work.
No.
Puerto Ricans, I'll stab you, cuz.
So check it out. What happens is the prison system in Puerto Rico is a mess. It's completely falling apart.
Oh, so they send them over
So they
there?
ship them to the closest federal prison, which is
shit.
Florida. So Florida's federal prison are
My
infested
bad,
with
Puerto
Puerto Ricans.
Ricos. Sorry.
So,
What?
mira Cuba. That's how they.
Yo.
Mira Cuba. Yeah. Shout out. Look, hold on. I gotta do this now. Shout out to fucking. We good? 28 minutes. Shout out to oye, todos los boricuas que todavía están. Shout out to Tornillo. Shout out to fucking. Who else? Pedrito, Pedro. Shout all of you. Shout out to Villegas. All my people out there. Anyway, so what happens in there? Obviously, like, you can talk to each other. Like, people from other races associate with each other, do business with each other. It's not like oh, forbidden. But you just don't, you're not like best friends. You know what I mean?
Besties.
So look at what happens with me. This blew my mind, bro. I get assigned to this job in prison called Unicor. Unicor is this mega corporation that uses prison labor to make shit. They pay us like 18 cents.
What were you making?
18 cents an hour.
No. What were you like physically making? Were you making things like license plates?
Each warehouse, each warehouse in each prison makes something different. We were like assembling furniture, I think.
Oh wow, they make you do shit that complex? I've heard of license plates.
No, but we didn't assemble it. We just would get these orders, put the parts on a pallet, throw it on a truck, and then they would ship it to wherever it's going.
Part of the process, yeah.
Yeah. So I get this job, and then my quote unquote, like, the guy who's training me is a black prison inmate. So I'm already like, fuck, but whatever.
What? Oh, because it's beef.
No, not beef.
This is feds or state?
No.
This is feds.
I never went to the state.
This is feds. But it's okay. So, but you're tripping because of the politics. You're tripping because of the politics.
It wasn't bad, but I didn't want problems, bro. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, whatever. But the guy was cool. This old guy, this older black dude, and then I'm about to leave, and the guy who's the inmate, who's the clerk up front, is like, you know who that guy in Spanish? This guy is a Colombian doctor, guy that got indicted for a bunch of shit. It's funny that the doctors always say they're innocent. Anyway, don't get me started on that shit.
Don't they all?
No. But the doctors are on another level. They're like, yeah, they think just because they're doctors, it's like, bro, you're in here with us. You're another fucking inmate. Cállate la boca. So
those are like the nerds of prison. They're like,
anyway,
all right, nerd, shut up. You're in here with us too.
So the Colombian doctor's like, you know who that is? And I'm like, bro, I just got here like the other day. No, I don't even know where I'm standing. He's like, bro, that's Spoon. And I'm like, what the fuck does that make me? Fork? Like, what does that mean? He's like, bro, that guy got pardoned by Obama. He had a massive case. Look him up. And I looked him up, and like, bro,
in prison? Oh, because you have access to the internet, right?
real, like one of the biggest, craziest gangster stories you've ever seen in your life.
Spoon?
Look him up.
We'll drop something here for you guys to look up.
I put 2 and 2 together and I realized I wrote a book report, a current event. You remember the current events in fucking high school? No, middle school. For me, it was middle school.
Middle school, high school. Yeah.
Bro, I wrote a current event about this guy. So I show up to work the next day at the fucking prison and I'm like, yo, I wrote a fucking current event on you. And he was like, for real? I was like, yeah, bro.
You're the reason I'm in here. He goes to stand.
Nah. Bro, we become friends.
That's crazy.
And he turns out, bro, so it turns out he got a life sentence. He got pardoned by Obama. And he worked his way down from the penitentiary, Papa.
And he got back in?
No. Listen. So there's 4 levels of security in federal prison. There's the pen, which is like the baddest motherfuckers that walk the earth. Medium, which is still pretty bad, gang.
Second baddest, yeah.
Yeah. The low, which is a little better, a little freer movement, but still a lot of gangs. And then where I was at, which was the camp. The camp is minimum security. There's only 3 guards on duty at a time. 500. They sneak in food every night. They sneak in fucking cell phones. There's drones that fucking come and bring us shit sometimes. It's crazy. Yeah,
what?
Yeah,
Drones?
Yeah. The only reason I can talk about this is because I'm not on probation. Anyway, crazy shit. So, bro, Spoon had worked his way down from the pen. He started at the pen.
Like, what do you mean work your way? Like, you get good behavior and
over
you get to go down?
Over time, based on your behavior and fighting your case, you can work your way down to a different facility and then do it again.
So it's not so stressful?
Yeah.
Damn, bro, that's crazy. What a fucking business model.
He had worked his way down.
Behave good and you won't be in such a stressful fucking environment.
Bro,
what?
So this guy worked his way down from the pen. Infamous Miami gangster. Like, and to this day, we're friends. Like, he's a friend of mine, bro.
He's still locked up?
He's still locked up. Right now, he's doing time in Jessup, Georgia. It's a camp right north of the Florida border. But he'll be out probably in the next few years. And that's like a friend of mine, bro.
You keep in touch now?
Yeah. One of the most notorious fucking gangsters that ever came out of Miami.
You should do a story on him. You should do like a video on him. That'd be cool.
No, that's all.
Oh, because it'll
hurt
him? It'll hurt him?
We gotta work out a publishing deal before we talk about any of that shit.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so prison has like flipped my view on humans. Like, it's made me understand that who you think is your worst enemy could be your best friend. That guy ended up being kind of like a mentor to me. He's an older dude. Like, when I mean older, much older. So I learned from him, and like we became, and then he looked out for me when he didn't have to. I'll tell you a quick funny story. So they sneak shit into prison all the time. Me and him had become friends at this point, and I'm working, and I'm fucking sweating my ass off in the warehouse, and he's like, Cuba. That's why everybody called me Cuba. Come here. And he's like, the funny thing is, on the street, when you do one of these, you think it's drugs. In there, we do it for a cheeseburger. We do it for shit that he's like, and then he whips out a Ziploc bag with like ice in it, with like this cherry, bro. They made the firest popsicles in prison, dog. The best popsicles I've ever eaten in my life.
No Diddy.
So what they did was they got this this Kool-Aid powder, and they'd freeze it. They'd put a Ziploc bag and put water in it, shake it, and leave it in the freezer at work, because we didn't have refrigerators in the unit. At work, so they leave it in there, and they come back the next day, and we got a popsicle. Shout out to Nate. Damn, he made some fire-ass cherry popsicles, man. I got to help him write. I promised him I'd help him write a book.
He's out?
No, he's doing time with Spoon in Georgia. They got shipped. After I left Coleman, I did time in Coleman, Central Florida in Coleman. They got shipped to Georgia. So, yeah, man, like...
Coleman is where you did it?
Coleman, Central Florida, yeah. It's Coleman prison camp. It used to be a female prison camp. Don't get me started on the shit they used to do to the females there. There's... All right, a quick one. There's one story I heard, which is, I think you can look it up. The prison guard had gotten so many female inmates pregnant.
What?
That he was actually going to get indicted by the federal government. Fucking big surprise.
He didn't?
Because he shot himself in the fucking head in the parking lot in his car.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. How about this? Some of the chicks got fucking malaria from the water, from the shower water. They got infected, and a bunch of them sued the BOP. Bro, it's like nonstop like stories of the shit they did, that these women like. And I don't know what it is about women who go to federal prison. A lot of them are smoking hot. Like, smoking hot. Oh, speaking of this, finest in the feds. What's her name? S.A. Sweets or whatever the fuck. The chick on Instagram. She's like, oh, the finest in the feds.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll show you.
We'll
Finest in the feds.
She's Mexican, right?
I don't know what she is.
She's in the feds or she covers fine people in the feds?
She's in the feds. She's in the feds right now. SA.Sweets. This girl right here. SA.Sweets.
What a lunatic. She's just a viral
Finest
sexy
in the
bitch in prison.
No, but you don't understand. I've met a lot of women.
Crazy.
But you don't understand. I've met a lot of women who did time in the feds. And like half of them look like that, bro. Half of them are smoking hot. I don't know what it is about the feds.
Pretty privilege, though. That's amazing.
Yeah,
they
I
think they
guess.
could do mad crimes and get away with it.
Yo, my boy did time in the building, right? In FCI Miami, in the that we call it the building. It's a big building where they hold a bunch of federal prisoners in downtown Miami. He says that they hold the women on a different part of the building and the men, obviously. So he was the orderly, so he would help the guards with shit and move shit around. So he got access to the floor with his guard where there was a female fucking prisoner. And he's like standing there with the guard and he says the female prisoner looked and saw him. I'm assuming she hadn't had sex with a guy in like a while. So the guard turns around for a second and he's looking at her and she goes, "Wagala!"
Fire.
Bro, it's great. I'll tell you another one that's pretty funny. He says they were playing basketball on the roof because that's where their rec yard is, on like the roof of the building. And they look over and imagine it's downtown Miami, so you got a bunch of beautiful buildings all around with pools and shit.
Wow.
So they look over and they're like, ah! There's like this chick by the pool.
What madness.
And the chicks know that that's a jail. Of course. So they're like, oh, what? I got that one.
Wow. What a mission.
It's great. Thank you for doing that for us, ladies. I appreciate it. Like that goes a long way. You women are stand-up citizens.
One last thing before we close. A piece of advice for guys like George Santos, and I think George Santos already went into the feds, but anybody else is about to do time, what's one piece of advice you'd give them?
Your life is not over. It seems like it's going to be over. You have an opportunity to meet amazing people you never would have met otherwise if you never went to prison. You're going to learn a lot if you give yourself the chance. I read 37 books in 5 months.
Wow. 37.
And I learned so much, not just from reading, but from being around all kinds of people. This is going to expand your view of life. Like it can be a great experience if you let it.
If you make it.
Yeah.
If you make it. If you make it.
Especially the feds.
Yeah. The feds are not on your side. Don't ever think they are. Fuck the feds. And I'll take it a step further. If you need some fucking pointers from someone who did time, hit me up. I actually work for a consulting firm for federal prison, so hit us up and we'll let you know what's up. But yeah, if you're about to get indicted, the world's not over. You have a long life ahead of you. It's an experience, and you're gonna come out the other side of this a much better human being than you could ever imagine. So.
The same way you came out of this podcast, a much more informed and better human being. So thank you y'all for listening. Tune into his show. I did his podcast already. Gotta come through. I gotta do some crimes first, and then when I have a record, I'll come back and do his podcast.
Honor Amongst Thieves on all podcasts: Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and then Montana the Prophet on Instagram. Check me out.
Oh yeah! And if you haven't seen him already, check out the other episode he did, and we'll see y'all next week. I appreciate y'all. Peace.
Say goodnight to the bad guy.
Sliding in the studio, my album coming soon. Until